Hi guys, and welcome back to our next commentary game, and this is actually part 2 of Simul against our coach, and this time we're going to be white. If you haven't seen the first part yet, please go check it out, it's a pretty interesting game. Okay, so the game just started and we're going to play c4 as always. This is our main opening. Okay, let me just make this bigger, alright. Okay, so he played knight to f6, this is a very common variation. And now he's most probably going to go for the King's Indian setup, uh, like this. But we're going to see he can also play e6 and then d5. He has some options here, but we're going to play knight to c3. Now he has really a lot of options. Like I said, he has this. He can go for the symmetrical, or he can play even e5. So he has a really wide choice here. I just hope that I'm not going to get blind like in the previous Simul, and if I don't, then we should be alright. Okay, so he played the move e6. If you watch all my videos, then you probably know what I play against this, because I had this in, I think, one analysis game. So here I basically play knight to f3, and my setup is to play e3, b3, bishop here, to fianchetto my bishop, and castle. That's kind of my plan here. And it's a pretty good setup here for white. I mean, black doesn't have any problems or anything, but I'm really comfortable playing this variation. Now he can still go for the c5, the symmetrical variation of the English opening, but he's most probably going to go with d5. Okay, so he played the d5 like we expected, and now the thing here is that I basically want to play b3 here to be able to recapture this pawn with my b pawn. But I'm a bit afraid of him playing d4. It looks a little bit weird for me where to go with this knight, and that's why I'm going to play e3 here, and I always play e3. And I kind of hope that people don't take here, but I don't know why, because I really want to fianchetto my bishop and take this pawn with my b pawn. But if he takes here, then I'm just fine in this position. But I always play positions with fianchetto bishop because I play the English opening, and I'm also better at these positions where my bishop is fianchetto. Okay, now he played his bishop to d6. Honestly, I haven't seen this move yet. I think if I play b3 here, I have basically no problems, and I should be fine here. So yes, let's just play b3. Looks logical here. If he takes, I'm going to take it with a pawn. Also prepares to fianchetto my other bishop. So b3 is a really useful move. Now I don't want to take here because I don't want to release this tension in the center, because that's normally not a very good thing to do. But if you take it at the right moment, then it might be good, but it's definitely not very good here. So that's why I didn't take this pawn here. And he castled, okay, a normal move. And now I don't actually know the exact order of the moves, if I should play bishop to b2 first or g3 first. I think it's not that important here. He doesn't have any big threats that I should watch for, so I would say that it doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to play g3 first because I want to get my king to safety as fast as possible. He doesn't have any threats, so this looks like a pretty good move here. I'm going to play g3, not going to waste so much time here. And I'm really thirsty, so I'm going to get some water. Alright, I'm back. He didn't play anything yet, because he has like a lot of players to play against. I think something like 15 or I don't know, something around this number. Okay, so he played the move b6. Just like my opponent in the analysis video did, he fianchettoed his bishop here, but when I played this game I had my bishop on e2, and now I'm going to have it on g2, which is, I think, more comfortable for me than on e2. So okay, let's just fianchetto our bishop here. I know sometimes it's annoying if he takes the pawn and then play his queen here when I play bishop to g2. But now the bishop is kind of in a way for this queen, so it can't. The queen can't go here on the next move. So that's why I'm going to play my bishop to g2, and this looks pretty fine now. Now I basically want the castle as quickly as possible. Play my bishop to b2 on this pretty good diagonal. Then play my rook to the c1 square because some pawns are probably going to get exchanged here and this file might become open. And my queen typically goes to this e2 square in these variations, and I play most often d3 because I don't want to play d4 because I kind of block my bishop here. So that's why I usually play d3 here. Alright, bishop to b7, a logical move, fianchettoing his bishop. Basic development. On the next move he's probably going to play something like his knight to d7 or to c6, we're going to see. But I'm expecting him to go to this d7 square actually, because then he can jump to some squares here, some pretty good squares. So now I'm just going to castle. I'm not afraid of anything here. And this is a kind of a balanced position. We're going to see what happens next. It looks pretty aesthetic, my pawn structure and his pawn structure on this diagonal, but this is probably going to change soon, so... Okay, so now he took our pawn on c4, and I mean we have to recapture it, of course, that's the only move here. And what was his idea here? Maybe he wants to play... No, c5 would be bad because this bishop gets blocked, right? So I don't know what his idea was. Okay, c5. He played c5. Um, all right. I mean, his bishop is really bad here, and I don't know why he did this. But I mean, if I move my knight, then this bishop could go there and exchange itself, let's say, for this knight. But now I don't know what it's actually doing. Okay, now let's think what we want to play here. Okay, if I play d4, then I might get the hanging pawns because these files here would be open, as you can see. But I don't really want to play this. I think I have the better play if I play something like bishop to b2. But it's true that at one point I'm probably going to have to play d4 because I mean if I don't, then what I'm going to do with my position. So that's true. I mean, it's probably good to play d4 here, but I don't know if I'm that comfortable playing this right now. Okay, now I'm probably going to have to play d4 because he's going to play, let's say, knight here, and he's going to move his bishop somewhere, and then he's going to jump on this square, which I, of course, don't want him to do, to get into my territory, so that's why I'm going to have to play d4, I think. Now if I play d4 and I get the hanging pawns here, then I'm going to have to use this plan with a4 and a5, because when he has pawns like this, where these two pawns are blocking your hanging pawns, you have to use this a4 a5 plan, so that's a plan that I'm going to use here. Now the only question I have to answer now is if I want to play d4 right away, or first play something like bishop to b2. If I get the hanging pawns here, then I think that my c4 pawn is going to be pretty weak. I have this pawn well protected on d4, but the c4 pawn is not protected by any piece here, so I don't know. And I don't want to play my bishop to b2 now, because if I play d4 and if I get the hanging pawns, I could play it to a square like e3 and then try to play for the c5 push. So that's why, okay, and now I'm going to just probably play d4. Now let's calculate one more thing. If I play d4, he takes, I take, and if he goes there with his bishop, this is not a problem, right? I mean, we should be fine. I don't see a better move here than d4, I think. So let's just play d4. Alright. If I'm honest with you, I like almost never get the hanging pawns. It's pretty rare. And I like to play with different pawn structures just to get better at them. And it's really interesting to play with different pawn structures and not with the same pawn structure in every game. Okay, so he finally came to our game now, and okay, he immediately took on d4. So now, of course, I can't take with a queen or with a knight because I'm going to have this isolated pawn here, which is going to be really weak. So I'm going to take it with a pawn. You can see hanging pawns here. And just in case, if you didn't watch a video about hanging pawns, you can check it out. So, okay, now he played his knight to d7. And now we really have to think about this position. Now, it was probably not the best to go into this hanging pawns position, because I don't really have a lot of activity here for these two pawns, and I'm not sure about this now. Now, our main plan should be with a4 and a5, ruining his structure here, but I don't know what if he plays, for example, rook to c8, attacking our pawn here. How are we going to defend this? I mean, we can obviously defend it with, for example, queen to e2, but then if he adds more pressure to this pawn, for example, with bishop here, and this is really going to be a problem. And it's a bit hard to play bishop to e3 because he has something like knight to g4, and he's attacking our bishop here, and I don't want to give up this bishop, so this doesn't look very great here. Okay, so the moves that I'm thinking about here are a4, then I'm thinking about bishop to e3, and that's basically all here. Now with a4 I want to do this standard plan here of ruining his pawn structure and activating my rook. But the problem here is if he plays, for example, rook to c8, attacking my pawn, also this move, this move. But maybe I have, when he plays bishop to a6, maybe I have this move after I play a4. So this could be possible here, and now the thing is that most often this bishop is not fianchettoed when you have the hanging pawns, so it can also protect this pawn on c4, and now it can't, so I'm really using a lot of time here, and I don't really want to be in a really big time trouble, so I'm going to have to play faster. Okay, so let's just play a4 here. I don't want to think about this position anymore here if I want to play a4 or bishop to e3. It really took me a lot of time, so I just decided for one. Now I think he's going to play rook to c8, attacking my pawn, and I'm going to play probably queen to b3 here. We're gonna see. Okay, yeah, he played rook to c8 immediately, and I basically didn't want to go to e2 because of this move. It's pretty annoying here, this spin. That's why I wanted to go to b3. But if this pin didn't exist, then it would be probably better to go to this e2 square. And when he plays bishop to a6, I can still play knight to b5 now. Maybe I can play it to e2, but from this b3 square I'm also supporting d5 push when I'm ready. So yeah, okay, let's just play queen to b3. I really want to know what he's going to play here. Maybe rook to e8, preparing e5. I don't know, this could be possible. We're gonna see. I mean, yeah, this looks pretty good because if I play this move, then he can put his knight to this really fine square, attacking a lot of my squares here in my territory. So this would be pretty good for him, I think. Okay, so he played rook to e8, like I a little bit, expected, and maybe this move is possible here because he can't take our pawn because I can take the bishop. But if I play c5 and if he moves, I don't know, somewhere, let's say there, then I think I have nothing, right? I mean, I can take once, but let's see now. I can also play a5 now, which is probably better, but I have to worry a little bit about this move here, that it's probably coming e5. If he plays e5, I was thinking about playing c5, but if he takes our pawn here, and if we take the bishop, he takes our knight. Oh no, he takes it with a rook, I think, and this doesn't work. That's why I should maybe play bishop to b2 first, and just not really hurry with this plan. First get rid of his threats maybe. Okay, yes, bishop to b2 looks fine. Yeah, let's play it. Bishop to b2. And yeah, after e5, we're going to play c5. And he still can't take here, I think, because I have this bishop to take. So, okay, now he played e5. And now, I mean, if we take here, then this is bad because we get this isolated pawn here, which is going to be pretty weak. So I don't really want this, and that's why. Also, if we play d5, of course, he's going to play his knight to c5, and he's going to attack our queen and have a really good outpost here. So I really don't want this to happen. So I think c5 is the right move here. But I don't see a better way than this, because also if I do nothing, then he can push, or he can take our pawn. He would probably take our pawn and then get this outpost, get an isolated pawn. We will get an isolated pawn, so it's even worse. So yeah, let's think about c5 here quickly, because we don't have a lot of time here left. Oh no, but bishop to b2 was a bad move, I think, because if I play this and if he takes it, I think I can't take the bishop because he still has this rook here, and he would take my bishop. So it looks pretty annoying here. Everything looks bad, every variation here looks really bad. I'm just going to play c5, I don't want to lose on time or anything. So, oh my god. All the variations were bad. Taking here was bad, playing d5 was bad. Doing anything else was bad, because he takes and I have an isolated pawn. He has an outpost. So maybe I should go for the hanging pawns here. But now let's see what he does. He has 17 minutes. He's probably going to think for a while in this position. And okay, now he's looking at our position and he's going to take this pawn. I'm almost 100% sure, because other moves aren't good. Or okay, he took our knight here, and yeah, I mean, he just wins a pawn, right? Alright, so we have to take the bishop, obviously. I hope I can make use of the bishop pair. I mean, this is really this is probably not going to happen, but we can still hope, you know. We really have like no time, and we have to figure out what we want to do here. Which pawn do we want to take out of the board here? You know what? I'm going to take this one off, because it looks more dangerous and more annoying than this one on the e-file. So let's take this one. Now he's going to take it with a knight, of course, with a tempo on the queen. And now we can go back, but we're kind of on the same file as the rook, so let's just go to the same file as the queen is. I really didn't have a lot of time here to think. Alright, he has the possibility of pushing the pawn. Okay, he pushed his pawn. And from where do we want to move? I'm gonna move back, because I want to have my king safe here. This bishop is really bad, but okay, now he put his bishop here. Let's just play our knight here. This was a bad move, but I don't know, I had like 2 seconds and I had to play something, you know. This doesn't look great here. He can play his knight here, and yeah, this is very bad. How are we even going to defend our knight here? I'm going to go there. I don't see another way of defending. And we're going to lose this knight. He's going to take it and then play queen here, something like this. And we're just going to lose this knight and also the game. This is completely lost here. Okay, so he took it and now he's just going to win it. He can even play something like this and terrible. Alright guys, so the game is not that important from now on. He just beat me. He played knight to d5, attacking my knight one more time, because of course I can't take it because of a pin here on the queen, and I pinned his knight to the queen. Alright, he moved the queen, and then okay, we just took everything, and you can see that I'm an exchange down. I have a knight for a rook, and I'm also a pawn down, so this is just losing. So the biggest mistake in this game was when I played the move c5. Alright, right there I played the move c5. I just didn't see that he can take my knight and then just win a pawn. This was just a blunder. Instead of c5, I should play something like knight to b5, attacking the bishop. He would have to move somewhere. I don't know where, maybe there or there. Probably there, defends his pawn also. And then I could take this pawn. And this shouldn't be a big problem here. I mean, alright, I have an isolated pawn, but this is really not that big of a problem because my knight here on b5 is pretty active here. It's a pretty good outpost for this knight, so this shouldn't be a problem for me, and it was definitely better than just giving a pawn in like 2 moves. So another option here instead of knight b5, I mean knight to b5 was the best, but I could also take the pawn, and then I mean when he recaptures the pawn, I can just recapture this knight and we exchange everything, and this is a pretty similar line as you can see here. Or maybe I can play some tempo moves also here on the queen, and this position looks alright for me. So I really should play this, but alright, I just blundered with c5 of course, and I mean next time I have to calculate better. I just didn't see this move here, I don't know how, but alright, it was interesting to try these hanging pawns because I usually don't get them. And I challenge you to play different pawn structures in your own games because this is really the way to improve at every single pawn structure. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and I will see you in the next video.